So after looking at this, it's actually just glass. I was expecting wood because on the rear of the transom, right above the transom, it's actually wood. It might just be because there's wiring and stuff going through that. They want it more structural, but the rest of the boat is actually just really thick glass. So that actually makes my job a lot easier. I'm having to find the right thickness of board to use. So what I'm planning on doing is put a board on the back side, either glue it to the inside, so then I can lay up glass from out here. After I sand this down, I'm going to lay it in, build out the thickness, and then I can remove that board once it dries and hardens, because if I didn't have a backing, it would just have a big sag all the way through it and it wouldn't be flat. So that's my plan right now, is to get a nice board to back up this, start laying some glass in, and then I can take that board off and start ferreting this out once I get the glass thickness down, and then we can start going back together with the other side. So you can see I sanded it down a little bit. I'm going to probably sand it down to the screw holes, just so I'm not having to fill those in. So then I'm just going to widen this out just a little bit more, and then leave it tapered like as it is right now, so you guys can see. It has a little bit of a taper, so as I lay the glass in, because I'm going to start off with chop strand, lay chop strand in the size of the opening, and then 1708 the size of the opening. And then I'm going to start to go up in size, so probably ½ inch per layer wider until it gets up all the way around to where you can see it's sanded. That will allow me to have it adhere to each component. I'm looking at probably 2 layers of 1708 to make up the thickness, and give me a little bit below what the thickness is over here, because I need to ferret and I need to lay it in some gel coat. So that's my plan for that, but I need to get up inside, sand down a little bit, probably widen this out just a touch more, and then I can start laying some glass in. Okay, so now that I have the tapering done for the hole, I have to have a backing sheet. I like to use like a piece of sheet metal or something like that to back it up. All my sheet metal is too small in width, so I found just cutting it in half would work. So if you look at 2 sheets of here, it's actually an old trespassing sign, because it's something that's robust enough for me to be able to pull off, and it doesn't want to stick to it, and it gives me a good robust backing to it. So I got the hot glue gun warming up, so all I have to do was put some glue between the 2 layers, stick it back up there on the back side, and start getting ready to glass it in. really good, you guys. I worked really hard at getting all the air bubbles out on this one, and it turned out pretty much perfect. I don't see any air bubbles. I've been looking at it for a couple minutes now, and I don't see any air bubbles. So, okay, well, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I tried really hard to get all the air bubbles out, and it looks like I did. I looked over it for a while, and I still can't find anything. So, that's really good news. But that stainless steel backing with the hot glue gun, I think that's a trick I'm definitely going to be using in the future, because it definitely will allow it to release, but also allow it to be rigid enough to hold the fiberglass in place and allow me to do any work. Because I was pushing a little bit of air out there, and it took a little bit of pressure to push some of the air out. So it definitely held up, and all I have to do is just remove the backing once it starts to harden up. So now I'm just going to have to worry about sanding it down, getting it down just a little bit lower than it is right now, since I left, as you guys can see, a little bit higher than I was talking about earlier. But I wanted to go past it, and I can always sand it, and I'd rather not have to come back through and touch up some areas that need more fiberglass. So I'll just sand it nice and flat, maybe a little bit indented, so I can ferret out and lay some gel coat in. So